Good evening, scissor wielding friends and strangers. This is Sarah from Pegasus Paper Co. And tonight I'm just going to walk you through assembling the Fairy Pocket ATC kit from my website. I'll put a link below if you're looking for it. It's fairly straightforward, but I'm going to share it anyway because I've had some people asking about it. So here's what it is. This one comes with two different pockets. One is for fairy offerings and one is for fairy spells. And I've made this because I'm doing a vintage fairy themed journal for our junk journaling group, Junk Journaling for Everyone. And this is my theme. So this kit comes with a whole bunch of little printouts that you can use for collaging. Here, I'll show them with a clear background so you can see more easily. So it comes with this sort of foldable little card that you can write things in. It comes with this Dancing Fairies little card. All of these fit inside of the pockets that we're about to make. Fairy Spell Waltz card with some sheet music. And then we've also got these tiny little fairy themed images here. Romantic fairies, skyward bound fairies, all sorts of things. Oh, that's not really very clear. Well, you can see images on the website that will be clearer. It's a bit hard to get them at the right angle in the video. She's riding on some sort of moth. That's from an old Grimm fairy tale book. Okay, I'm going to set aside these little collage ephemera bits, which we can play with on our own. And let's start with the two fairy pockets. First, we're going to begin with, let's see, I think the Fairy Spells pocket. Okay. So this is pretty simple. We'll get a white piece of paper to protect our desk from glue. And this kit comes with a front, a back, a foldable pocket to put on the back. It's going to go there. We'll attach these afterwards. And then a bunch of little things to write fairy spells on. These are actually miniature versions of my spell paper, which I'll link to. There's a whole lot of amazing imagery in these, and if you're interested, you can click through the links and read about it. I won't use everybody's time on that. These are little banners you can put wishes and spells on. And of course the kit comes with some wings to play with of various kinds, some butterflies, things like that for decoration. Anything that can fly and lift you. Okay, so this is a pretty simple one. We're just gonna start with the assembly. So I'll put some glue on the back to attach the front to it. Now you can put a playing card in the middle of these and then trim the edges if you want to make it extra sturdy. I kind of like for my journals to be not too thick since I put so many things inside of them, so I'm not going to put a card in the middle, but you can because this is made as an altered playing card project. So here we go. Let's just glue these bits together. Just put a little bit of glue everywhere. And of course, if you have clips with you, after you glue it, you can clip it and that will just give it a nice extra seal. I'll line that up, smooth it on. What a beautiful fairy. I love this picture. And we'll just smooth it. If you have a credit card or a playing card, you can just flatten that out, put it under a book for a moment with something to protect the book from glue. You get the idea, but we're doing the tutorial the quick way so I don't use up too much of your time. Okay, so we've got our fairy and we've got the back of the card. Now we're just going to take this piece from the kit, fold the tabs over like so. Right, that will become a little pocket on the back of the card, and we're just going to glue only the tabs before attaching it. If you have double-sided tape, that's even cleaner. Don't have it with me because I'm not in my studio right now. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue down on the edges of the tabs. Bit of glue there, lovely. And I'm just going to line this up where I want it on the back of the card and glue it all down. Okay, Now if it sticks out from the back, it's actually okay because the tabs are colored in a way that looks really nice. Yeah, I folded mine in a slightly messy way. You can also, because it's glue stick and it's not permanent, refold if you didn't do it perfectly. Isn't it nice to just be able to make mistakes and know that it's okay? Yeah, that was an easy fix. Let's do the other one better too. That's what I get for not folding along the lines. Okay. Yeah, that'll be better. So I'm just going to re-glue that just a little bit along the edge. Oh. Okay, now if you have journal clips, that's a good time to clip the edges just to give it a nice firm hold while you're waiting for that to dry. Okay, now this is the time that if you've got a little bit of white sticking out around the corners, you can just trim that. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this here. And if you've got ink, you can ink your edges. I have, not with me, but I have this really lovely metallic pigment ink that I think would be amazing on this card. So I would put a bit of gold here all around the edges. And okay, so now we've got a little fairy pocket. We can put things in there. So this kit, oh, we didn't decorate it yet. What am I doing, silly? Okay, we have some butterflies to decorate with, so let's see. I always like to just check in advance. I think I'll put this one on the back and the blue one on the front. So when I'm adding butterflies, I just like to fold up the wings just a little bit and glue down only the middle so that it feels like they're flying. So let's add a little butterfly. And again, this is something you would normally really want to clip down. But for the demo, you'll get the idea. I'm going to add this one, I think right up here as if it's flying in front of the fairy. Right on her wings. Make sure the wings can flap. That's another thing you can add some glitter to. Glitter or shimmer. Even if you have eyeshadow that's a little bit shimmery, you can just rub it into the paper. Sometimes that's really nice. It does get on other things, so be aware of that, but it sure does look beautiful. Okay, so now we've got a butterfly on the front. Let's just get one on the back. I'm going to do the same thing. Give it the ability to fly. These are also the same size, so if you wanted to, you could glue them to each other so that there's no white showing, that it's like a front and back. Totally your call. I'm going to leave this area empty so I can write something on it for my fairy journal. So, let's see. Oh, there are so many options. I would put it up here, but it's going to block pocket. You know what? Let's just put it down here. Okay, I'll glue that down. The great thing about printables is that if you're someone who loves all the options and doesn't like to eliminate good possibilities, you can just make as many as you want because you can print out as many as you want. That's part of why I got into the printables thing so much, because I love just knowing that if I change my mind later, I can make it differently again. Okay, so now we've got our little fairy spell pocket with some butterflies flying around. And if you have them nearby, I encourage you very strongly to add glitter and gold and shimmer. And if you have some metallic wax seals, they would look beautiful on here with a bit of ribbon hanging off. You can embellish any way you see fit. And now we've got all of these beautiful little papers for writing spells on. This one even has a little buttercup colored butterfly on it. So I'm going to place these inside the pocket so that when I'm ready to add some little spells for my fairy journal, I can do so. We'll put those here. That might be too many. I'll leave one out. Okay. You can also fold these in half into cards. You can do whatever you like. Maybe I'll face that the other way. That way you have lovely things to look at from either side. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay. And then I'm going to put some of these little wish banners inside. Okay, and I didn't even use the wings yet, but you know what? I might save that for another part of my journal. They are really lovely, but I just think it's gilding the lily, as they say. So I'm going to leave those off for now. So this is pocket number 1. This is the fairy spells pocket. Okay, and then there's another one that comes in the kit also, so I'll set that aside and we'll just assemble the other one. The assembly actually goes the exact same way, so if you're feeling good about this, you don't have to watch the second part, but just for those who want a quick demo, I'll do this anyway. I always fold my glue paper after doing one so that I don't ruin the image by getting glue on it from the last project. So once again, we're just going to put some glue on the back. Glue the front image to it. Smooth it down. Right. Now this time I'm going to check the alignment before I glue the pocket down and make sure I folded it okay. I actually like the green sticking out, so I'm going to trim this first. Re-glue the corner. I'll just trim the white edges before we continue, since I'll have things sticking out soon. And then I'm gonna, maybe I will just correct my folding a little bit. I'll fold this in. And actually, I think it would look nice to see just a bit of this green poking out, so I might make my pocket even smaller than it's supposed to be in the kit, just so I can see a bit of the other green coming through for accent. Yeah, so I'll just fold this a bit smaller. On both sides. I really like monochromes. I love it when you have slightly different tones of the same color, just playing off of each other. Yeah, I think it's nice with a little border there. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to glue that down. So we'll just put a bit of glue on the edges. Okay. And we'll place our pocket. Now this pocket is for fairy offerings, so there's all sorts of fairy lore out there. People say that fairies like broken jewelry, they like pressed flowers. This is if you want to press flowers, this kit does come with those little cards that I showed you earlier, and you can press a flower in here and then they fit right inside of the pocket. You can also write them little notes and songs. You can put in whatever you like. And okay, so we've got our basic pocket, and now it's time for the fun. This one comes with a whole bunch of gorgeous butterflies, and they can just go all over the place, wherever you like. Oh wow, what a color combination. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna put that there. That's so nice. Even though it looks really beautiful with the girl on the front too, but she's already so pretty. Let's just add this to the back. So once again, I'm just gluing the middle because I like it to feel like it could fly off the page. And I'll put it right there. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got a nice butterfly here. And you also don't have to use everything in the kit. I mean, look at all the butterflies that came with this one. That is a lot. There might not even be room for all of them. I just like to give extra options. I just love the blues and the oranges together. I mean, look at that. So I'm gonna put, I think the blue plays so nicely off of her crown. Let's let's do this. Let's have this one and this one. That one, oh yeah, that's going to be really nice. And the rainbow one I'll put on the journal page behind wherever I end up using this. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one flat just to make sure it stays. We'll put that here. This one I'm going to give a bit of a flap. We'll just fold around the body so the wings come up. And these antennae are very delicate. If you've cut yours off by mistake, you can actually use pieces of thread or metal wire, anything you like. Just glue them on near the butterfly and it'll work the same way. This one we'll put here. Press it down so the antennae don't fall off. Nice. And the blue one I'm also going to give a bit of flap too. Touch of glue. Now, of course, if I were in my studio, I would be adding tons of shimmer and gold and all sorts of decorative elements. Oh, that's nice off her skin color. Look at that combination. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. Okay. I'm leaving one wing a little bit up down just for stability because it's a small surface area. Okay. And now we have our fairy offerings journal. So you can fill this with offerings, or you can write little notes. And again, this also has beautiful fairy spell paper, which I'm going to tuck in the pocket for when I'm ready to write on it. We'll put those in there. And we'll have these little wish banners. Those will help us too. I just love the fairy colors in this kit. Okay. Fantastic. So now we've got our 2 fairy cards to give fairy offerings and fairy spells. I'm going to use these in my fairy journal. And if you're doing the challenge, check the links below. I'm going to link to the next video sample. Of course, you can do your cards anyway. But until soon, my friends, happy crafting.